Kia ora tātou te whānau. So today I'm here in this beautiful whare tukutuku. And tukutuku is a tipuna of Ngāti Pāwa, he wahine tipuna tēnei. It's a bit of a honour and a privilege for me to be standing in one of, I guess, my tipuna whare. So I'm here at AUT North Shore. I've been blessed with the opportunity to help construct a Matauranga Maori movement paper, which is pretty surreal for me. Why? Because of, firstly, for someone who went to kura and barely got my NCA, it's pretty surreal that I find myself in, a university where I'm helping to construct a master's degree in movement and Matauranga Maori. Me being a descendant of Pāwa, for me to be in this whare wānanga and to pass on my mātauranga hei koha. So I just want to acknowledge the people that have welcomed me into this whare. So acknowledge, my tipuna, who I believe are guiding me, and our atua, who I believe are guiding me also, which is a space that I'm really, a space where I really love giving and feeding into. Why? Because I get to tap into my creative mind, and that's an area that I really love diving into. Matauranga Māori and applying it to a physical aspect, which is something that is really exciting. What we're going to learn about today, the topic of discussion, is how can we apply Matauranga Māori into movement and into physical activities utilising atua and Matauranga Māori concepts into these activities. So I'm going to give you a bit of practical advice today. These are some things that you can take away, give you a bit of food for thought. For teachers out there that are looking at attaching Matauranga Māori to a physical education standpoint, or how you can attach Matauranga Māori to physical activities, whether it be through an NCA standard or an assessment or whatever it may be. I just want to give you guys some practical advice on some things and some food for thought that you can maybe implement into your programming. That's my objective of this korero today. All right, kia ora tātou. The atua that we're going to use is tāne, and we're going to use tāne as the atua for priming. Prior to stepping out onto the field, prior to going into a CrossFit comp, prior to anything that you're about to embark on physically, whether it be a workout, whether it be going to the gym, whether it be stepping onto the sports field, in whatever field that looks like, we are going to use the concept of tāne in our priming phase. So, for example, before you go out into whatever sports arena that is, or whatever field that you're stepping into, whether it be the gym, whether it be game day on the netball court, on the rugby field, we're going to use tāne as the atua for the priming phase. Okay, so for example, before a workout, okay, what you'll do is you'll do a bit of a priming. So we've got the priming phase, that's stage one. Okay, now priming, this is all about getting our minds ready and set prior to doing the task. Okay, even before warming up, this is your priming phase of the hinengaro. Now, the reason why we use tāne, okay, that atua in this priming phase, is because tāne was a big contributor to the taha hinengaro. He contributed to everything to do with knowledge, everything to do with pretty much everything to do with the hinengaro. Tāne was a massive contributor in that area. So, priming phase, okay, this is, remember, to get you ready, to get you locked in, to get you tapped in prior to even warming up. So really it's a stage of mental prep. Okay, mental preparation. So we can go priming, okay, falls into mental preparation. Okay, remember the aim of the game here is to intertwine or weave in Matauranga Māori concepts. Underneath that, well, it should really be at the top, but we're gonna chuck it here, tāne. Phase one, we've got priming phase, which is mental preparation. The atua that you can attach to this, and this is tāne. This is phase two. Remember, we did our mental preparation or our priming of our hinengaro. Tāne was the atua that contributed to that. Māori concept of manu and ngangara for the warm-up sequence. The warm-up, we're going to use a ngangara or an insect called raw tāne. That's sort of like a stick insect. How we're going to relate the raw tāne to a warm-up movement is a plank. The movement that we're going to attach for the warm-up is a plank hold, okay, because this insect, if you can imagine you're in the plank position, or in the plank hold or the press-up hold, okay, you can use a press-up with a reach, press-up with a reach. Okay, remember this is warming up, it sort of embodies how roatane would move. So we're going to use roatane for a plank and a press-up. If we're trying to warm up our legs, okay, or our calves, we can use the pu keko. Okay, and it's totally up to you if you want to choose whatever manu you want to. It's open for you to choose. How does a pu keko move? You can ask your students these things. How does a pu keko move, or how does it run? We're going to whakatinana the pu keko in this warm-up. So for example, you might set some cones 10 meters apart, okay, for your warm-up, and then they're going to whakatinana or embody how a pu keko would move. So if you could imagine how a pu keko moves, all right, they're quite tippy-toey in their stance, all right? You can use something like heel-to-toe walks, sort of like how a pu keko would move. Okay, whānau, so now we're moving on to stage 3. And stage 3 is pretty much the application part or the workout itself. We're going to keep it nice and simple, and we're going to use tāne. In the korero of the separation between Ranginui and Papa Atua Nuku, okay, we had tāne, which is one of Rangi and Papa's children. Tāne was the one that separated Rangi and Papa to bring light into this world. Now, how tāne separated Rangi and Papa was he pretty much lied flat on his back and used his leg strength to push Rangi Nui, his old man, to the sky, and Papa Tuanuku, his mum, to the whenua. He hopped in between those two elements there, used his leg strength to push them apart to bring light into this world. That's just going to be what we're doing today, okay? Everything to do with legs, all right? And the concept or the Matauranga behind it is we're going to use that pūrākau of the separation of Rangi and Papa, and how tāne used his leg strength to separate them, okay, to push his old man to the sky and his old lady to the ground, okay? We're going to use that korero there. So we can talk to our tauira about this prior to doing our workout, just to get them some things and some ideas to think about. Okay, whānau, so moving on to phase 4, which is the cool down. Okay, remember, aim of the game is to attach Matauranga Māori or Māori concepts, whether it's through pūrākau, whether it's through atua, whether it's through whakapapa. We're on to our last stage, okay, which is the cool down, which is very important for recovery. When you think about cooling down or bringing your tinana into Māori tau, which is nice and relaxed, or back to neutral, right? You've did all your mahi, you did your priming, yep, boom, good to go. You did your warm-up, which is getting your tinana and all your blood flowing through your body and igniting and sparking and firing up and invigorating aroto, okay, which is phase 2. And then we're moving on to phase 3, which is actually the mahi itself, the workout or the game itself. Now, we're coming into Māori tau. We want to come back into nice and relaxed or neutral in our wairua, okay? So today we're going to use rongo matane, okay? Rongo matane. Rongo matane is an atua that is pretty much predominantly known for the atua of peace and zen and Māori tau, which is back to neutral or coming back to, you know, a grounded sort of state of being. There's rongo matane and tūmatawenga, and those are pretty much yin and yang. Tūmatawenga is the atua of war, pretty much, widely known for, and rongo matane is sort of the atua of peace. So there's balance between those two atua, which we have to try and remind ourselves, because tūmatawenga is quite present through all of this that we just talked about, all right? But we want to come back into a state of zen or Māori tau, okay? So we're going to use this atua here, rongo matane. So yeah, that's pretty much our korero today, whānau. Hopefully you fellas got something out of this korero in hopes that you can apply it to your own personal life and whatever you're trying to embark on, whether it be on the sports field, whether it be with your coaching, programming, whether it's be for your tauira, your students at kura, in your PE class. And all of this korero that I had about our atua today is really science. Nō reira, tēnei te mihi kia koutou e mā takitaki ana I tēnei hōtaka nei o mana tū. Me tuku mihi ahau ki te whare nei, e tū mai e manakitia ana hau I roto I oku nei kōrero, no reira he mihi ki te whare, he mihi ki ngā atua, ano hoki he mihi ki ngā tīpuna e rere pai, ana ki Wainganui e hau I tēnei, rā, no reira, tūturu whakamaua kia tīna, haumi e, hui e, tai ki e.